Good morning, everyone. Well, yeah, it's still morning. September 14th, 2018, America. So, things are beginning to ramp up there in Syria once again. And this time, one of the mainstream media outlets, Fox News, is actually admitting that the U.S. is planning to bomb Syria to protect Al-Qaeda, or ISIS, or whatever you want to call the motherfuckers. I call them the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. I've been trying to get away from reading these articles, but I'm gonna hit this one because it's pretty important. Idlib, Syria. For those who have been paying attention, the United States military-industrial complex has been ramping up conflict in Syria, and another attack on the sovereign country is seemingly imminent. However, to those paying attention, these imminent attacks will only help one group, Al-Qaeda. On Tuesday, Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard pointed out that glaring hypocrisy of the White House honoring those who were killed by Al-Qaeda during 9/11 while the U.S. is simultaneously supporting Al-Qaeda in Idlib. And I did this tweet earlier, but I'll go ahead and do it again. Quote, while President Trump and Vice President Pence give 9/11 speeches about how much they care about the victims of Al-Qaeda's attacks on our country, they are simultaneously acting as protectors of Al-Qaeda in Syria, specifically Idlib, threatening Russia and Syria that if they attack Al-Qaeda, they will punish them. Showing that the push for truth knows no party, Fox News right-wing pundit Tucker Carlson echoed those remarks this week when he asked why the U.S. went from fighting Al-Qaeda to protecting them. Now, they never were fighting Al-Qaeda. Okay? They were never fighting Al-Qaeda. It was theater. Instead, what they are doing, and are doing, is using Al-Qaeda as a proxy army to overthrow other regimes. More than 10,000 rebels in that province are believed to be aligned with Al-Qaeda, so that would mean that 17 years after 9/11, America could soon find itself bombing a country to protect Al-Qaeda sympathizers. Why would we do that? Tucker Carlson asked. And he's one of the few people I can stand to watch on television, but he too is filled with bias, and he don't like to let other people talk if he disagrees with what they're saying. And I think you should let them talk so you know what the fuck they're talking about. How do you know what somebody's talking about if you don't let them finish what they're saying? The Free Thought Project reported on Tuesday the Russian military announced that it had intelligence that the Syrian government would be the target of said footage and claimed it would be released that day. Then, on Wednesday, the Russian Reconciliation Center in Syria released a statement claiming that a number of Middle Eastern TV channels and a regional affiliate of a U.S. broadcaster have shot 9 videos in Jisr al-Ghura. It's part of the Idlib province, and it was a staged chemical attack that will be blamed on the Syrian government. And they've been caught doing this over and over again. Now, Russia, Vladimir Putin and Sergei Lavrov specifically, these individuals have had the patience of saints when it comes to what's going on over there in Syria and how NATO is encircling Russia. They've been very patient, and like most other people, eventually those patience run out. Now, I'm not a fan of Russia or China or any of them, because a lot of people have this stupid idea that Russia is against the New World Order. It's not against the New World Order. See, these disagreements are about who's going to control the New World Order, not whether or not it should happen. All the videos, according to the Russian government, show activists from the White Helmets group providing assistance to civilians injured in the non-existent attack. As the state-run media RT reports, the Russian military details that on September 11th, the White Helmets and terrorists from Tahrir al-Sham, commonly known as Al-Qaeda in Syria, held a meeting following the filming process in which they selected 2 out of 9 videos for further transfer to the United Nations and the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. The remaining videos are to be used for propaganda on social media networks due to poor quality. It is important to point out that, or the possibility that the Russians are making the videos themselves to be used to discredit the United States. Well, before I go any further, I don't see how Russia would do this, or why they would do it. I mean, after all, the United States has already been caught in doing these things. So, their credibility when it comes to these matters really isn't all that great in the first place. So, Russia would have no reason to do that. However, it is also important to point out the U.S. has used a similar video as a justification for a strike already. Now, the U.S. is claiming they will strike before any attack, as a means of deterring Assad from launching more chemical weapons. And I agree, there is no logic, it's just insanity. And they pose the question, why would Assad gas his own people, knowing full well that the U.S. would use this as a pretext to invade his country and eventually kill him? The answer to the questions, if we apply the law of Akkad's razor, is that he wouldn't. Well, not only that, but this law of Akkad's razor is probably something to do with self-preservation, right? I mean, it would totally go against his own self-preservation to launch any chemical attacks, knowing full well the United States is like rabid dogs on chains waiting to attack and kill him. The more likely answer to the question of why the U.S. is attacking Syria and protecting Al-Qaeda is that it furthers the neoconservatives' interest of the deep state. To those paying attention over the years, the deep state's desire to intervene in Iran and Syria and subsequent support for this in the media should come as no surprise, as it has been the plan since Bill Clinton was in office and was documented in the neoconservatives' PNAC report. Well, World War III was planned long before Bill Clinton's term in office. It was planned back during the Civil War. Albert Pike. These guys. This was even admitted by General Wesley Clark, former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, that the U.S. planned on going to war with Syria and other countries, according to a 2001 memo from the U.S. Secretary of Defense. And this memo, in quotes, describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years. So much for that, right? Again, government don't do anything right, including conducting warfare. Anyway, thought I'd share this with you because we're right on that line again, where all-out war can break out at any time, and the Third World War is going to be unlike any other war before it. And instead of the 30 million or so that died during World War II, I don't know the exact numbers and have to look it up, but it was in the millions. With World War III, it will go from millions to billions. So, something to keep your eye out on. This article was by Matt Argus, by the way. Hope you all have a good day. Kill the state. Live free.